Times of Prayer. Volume 1, Book 10, number 500. Narrated by Ibn Shihab. Once Umar bin Abdul Aziz delayed the prayer, and Urwa bin Azad Zubair went to him and said, once in Iraq, al-Mutra bin Shubar delayed his prayers, and Abi Mas'ud al-Ansari went to him and said, O Mughira, what is this? Don't you know that once Gabriel came and offered the prayer, Fajr prayer, and Allah's apostle prayed too, then he prayed again, Zuhr prayer, and so did Allah's apostle. And again he prayed, Asr prayers, and Allah's apostle did the same. Again he prayed, Maghrib prayer, and so did Allah's apostle, and again prayed, Isha prayer, and so did Allah's apostle. And Gabriel said, I was ordered to do so, to demonstrate the prayers prescribed to you. Umar bin Abdul Aziz said to Urwa, be sure of what you say. Did Gabriel lead Allah's apostle at the stated times of the prayers? Urwa replied, Bashir bin Abi Mas'ud narrated like this on the authority of his father. Urwa added, Aisha told me that Allah's apostle used to pray Asr prayer when the sunshine was still inside her residence, during the early time of Asr. Volume 1, Book 10, number 501. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Once a delegation of Abdul K came to Allah's apostle and said, we belong to such and such branch of the tribe of Rabah, and we can only come to you in the sacred months. Order us to do something good so that we may carry out, take it from you, and also invite to it our people whom we have left behind at home. The Prophet said, I order you to do 4 things and forbid you from 4 things. The first 4 are as follows: 1, to believe in Allah. And then he explained it to them, i.e., to testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and Muhammad, Allah's apostle. 2, to offer prayers perfectly, at the stated times. 3, to pay zakat, obligatory charity. 4, to give me kumus. The other 4 things which are forbidden are as follows: 1, dubba, 2, hantam, 3, makayat, 4, nachir. All these are utensils used for the preparation of alcoholic drinks. Volume 1, Book 10, number 502. Narrated by Jara bin Abdullah. I gave the pledge of allegiance to Allah's apostle for to offer prayers perfectly, to pay zakat regularly, and to give good advice to every Muslim. Volume 1, Book 10, number 503. Narrated by Shakik. That he had heard Hadith saying, once I was sitting with Umar, and he said, who amongst you remembers the statement of Allah's apostle about the afflictions? I said, I know it as the Prophet had said it. Umar said, no doubt you are bold. I said, the afflictions caused for a man by his wife, money, children and neighbor are expiated by his prayers, fasting, charity, and by enjoining what is good, and forbidding what is evil. Umar said, I did not mean that, but I asked about that affliction which will spread like the waves of the sea. I, Hadith, said, O leader of the faithful believers, you need not be afraid of it, as there is a closed door between you and it. Umar asked, will the door be broken or opened? I replied, it will be broken. Umar said, then it will never be closed again. I was asked whether Umar knew that door. I replied that he knew it as one knows that there will be night before the tomorrow morning. I narrated a hadith that was free from any misstatement. The subnarrator added that they deputed Masruq to ask Hadith about the door. Hadith said, the door was Umar himself. Volume 1, Book 10, number 504. Narrated by Ibn Mas'ud. A man kissed a woman unlawfully, and then went to the Prophet and informed him. Allah revealed, and offer prayers perfectly at the 2 ends of the day and in some hours of the night, i.e. the 5 compulsory prayers. Verily, good deeds remove, annul, the evil deeds, small sins. 11.114. The man asked Allah's apostle, "Is it for me?" He said, "It is for all my followers." Volume 1, Book 10, number 505. Narrated by Abdullah. I asked the Prophet, "Which deed is the dearest to Allah?" He replied, "To offer the prayers at their early stated fixed times." I asked, "What is the next, in goodness?" He replied, "To be good and dutiful to your parents." I again asked, "What is the next, in goodness?" He replied, "To participate in jihad, religious fighting, in Allah's cause." Abdullah added, "I asked only that much, and if I had asked more, the Prophet would have told me more." Volume 1, Book 10, number 506. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. I heard Allah's apostle saying, "If there was a river at the door of any one of you and he took a bath in it 5 times a day, would you notice any dirt on him?" They said, "Not a trace of dirt would be left." The Prophet added, "That is the example of the 5 prayers with which Allah blots out, annuls, evil deeds." Volume 1, Book 10, number 507. Narrated by Ghailan. Anas said, "I do not find, nowadays, things as they were practiced at the time of the Prophet." Somebody said, "The prayer is as it was." Anas said, "Have you not done in the prayer what you have done?" Narrated Az Zuri that he visited Anas bin Malik at Damascus and found him weeping and asked him why he was weeping. He replied, "I do not know anything which I used to know during the lifetime of Allah's apostle except this prayer which is being lost, not offered as it should be." Volume 1, Book 10, number 508. Narrated by Anas. The Prophet said, "Whenever any one of you offers his prayer, he is speaking in private to his Lord. So he should not spit to his right but under his left foot." Qatada said, "He should not spit in front of him but to his left or under his feet." And Shubha said, "He should not spit in front of him, nor to his right but to his left or under his foot." Anas said, "The Prophet said, he should neither spit in the direction of his Qibla nor to his right but to his left or under his foot." Volume 1, Book 10, number 509. Narrated by Anas. The Prophet said, "Do the prostration properly and do not put your forearms flat with elbows touching the ground like a dog. And if you want to spit, do not spit in front, nor to the right, for the person in prayer is speaking in private to his Lord." Volume 1, Book 10, number 510. Narrated by Abu Hurairah and Abdullah bin Umar. Allah's apostle said, "If it is very hot, then pray the Zuhr prayer when it becomes a bit cooler, as the severity of the heat is from the raging of the hell fire."